Hi people, SpanielGaming here today with some more Skyrim, and I've decided I'm not going to end Shadow's adventure because it's only 2 episodes in. I'm just going to give it a little break for now, and now I'm going to make some Skyrim challenge videos like this one, but obviously these are going to take quite a while because they are quite hard, so yeah. But today I make a Skyrim game thing, you know, and I forbid myself to use anything but daggers, so let's see how this turns out. I hope you enjoy the video. It starts off same as last time. We wake up, we're a prisoner of the Imperials, we come to a stop, we're about to be executed, and it's time we make our character. So I make my character in loving memory of Lizard Man from the previous video, rest in peace, and this is the end result, and then this is where our journey comes to an end. Rayloff told me to jump off the roof. I got up to Alduin and just started admiring him, and he didn't give one at all, which was really good. And then me and Rayloff went into the keep, and I searched his friend's body for a dagger, but he didn't have any, so I just took his clothes. And then we got assaulted. I didn't have a dagger, so I couldn't do anything, but my G Rayloff protected me because he's my hero. I just made him do everything. And then I got my first dagger from the captain, and then I just disrespected all of their bodies, because why not? I found a floating body, and then we escaped Helgen together.
Undercover in Riverwood.
I bought a steel dagger from Alvor. Gerda told me to talk to the Jarl of Whiterun, and as I was about to do so, Rayloff started floating, and then in Whiterun, the scary person started squaring up to me, and then I backed up. I wanted to run, but couldn't, because I had to speak to the Jarl of Whiterun, and they kept approaching me. And I was very intimidated because they had their weapons unsheathed even as well. And at some point I just tried to epically parkour past them, but they amazingly caught me. Then I talked to the Jarl, who then told me to talk to Fangor, whatever his name is. He told me to get to the Dragon Stone, so I murdered the Jaw Overlord, got his stone, and gave it to Farengar. Then the scary person just stormed into the room to tell us this news.
Farengar, you need to come at once. A dragon's been sighted nearby. You should come too.
We killed the beast and I devoured its soul because, you know, that's natural. And then I reported back to the Jarl about our epic game of victory, and then he told me to meet the Greybeards. So I went up to High Hrothgar. I talked to Arengar, who then told me to get the horn of Urigan Windcaller. I got an arrow to the nose, found out someone else took the horn, and then 2 scary people once again started squaring up to me. So I rushed over and they started threatening me. They didn't really, but still. I didn't really like the way they were looking at me, so I decided to attempt to murder them. And then there was an all-out brawl. And I was watching Alvor, but something bad happened. They killed Alvor. In my rage, I murdered them, but it was too late. Alvor was gone. They also killed his wife, so I just put their corpses next to each other. Sven also made a very awkward situation.
You're that visitor been poked. Attic room, eh? Well, we don't have an attic room, but you can have the one on the left. Make yourself at home.
And the braggart did swagger and brandish his blade as he told of bold battles in gold he had made.
Faendal thinks he can woo Camilla Valerius away from me. She's already mine, I keep telling him.
All right then.
When I was in my room, Delphine tried to barge into my room, so I did what any normal person would do. God freaking damn it. And yeah, apparently she was part of the Blades, which is an organization that helps out the Dragonborn. And then I gave Arengar the horn, but I noticed that he was still waiting for me to do the roaring sprint trial, which I already did. But yeah, I gave him the horn and then launched myself down a hill. Me and Delphine witnessed Alduin bringing other dragons back to life from the dead, so that confirmed Delphine's theory, and then we just started hacking away at the dragon, which wasn't easy because I was doing like no damage, but we did it eventually. Then Delphine apparently got suspicious of the Falmor knowing stuff about the dragons, so she told me to go to the party and spy on them, so I launched Sven into a wall because why not? And then Malborn told me to give him everything I owned, so I did. And then it was time to fricking party. So I paid this dude to make a distraction. And then this person shot an arrow into my fricking eyeball. Well, not really. And then I got an upgrade to my daggers. This noob fell in a weird position. A teen got possessed again. I saved Malborn's life. And then me and the lads were going to escape. There was just one problem though, and that there was a freaking frost troll, and I only had daggers. And I didn't really know what to do, so I heroically jumped down, fusrodard it into the wall, and tried to make a run for it. But then I realized I ran the wrong way, so I made a swift turn, and then I escaped. And I'm happy to announce no one died, everyone was alive this time. And then the new landmark in Riverwood got some attention. And then I told Delphine that Esbern was still alive, so she sent me to find him. When I found Esbern, I tried to fusrodard the door, but I accidentally fusrodard him. And then he was having none of that, so big man Esbern tried to murder me. So I had a little brawl with him. And then when I pretty much nearly murdered him, he said this.
That's better. Now we can talk.
That was a bit strange, but then he told me to take him back to Delphine, so I did. And then the three of us set out on an expedition to find Skyhaven Temple and Alduin's Wall. And then two dragons at once started assaulting me. I wanted none of that, so I just escaped into the cave. And then I violently slit my hand open just to activate a blood seal thing. Delphine wanted to fit in on me and Esbern, who both had torches, so she made some sort of like fake torch. It did work as a torch though, because she was somehow lighting the things, which was pretty terrifying. Delphine then somehow did it again. We learnt that a shout was used to kill Alduin, so I went to none other than Arengar, who then told me to go to Parthenax. Wolfgar was happy to see me. Parthenax told me to find an Elder Scroll, and I gained entry into the college by doing that. This hawker thought it was still on surface, and then Parthenax just kind of got glitched in some sort of animation whilst he was talking to me, and he just kept going so high that I couldn't even hear what he was saying. And then this is when I got assaulted.
What you say? Oh, that you only
I then, after quite a lot of attempts, finally got to the Elder Scroll and took it. Then I read it at the Time Wound, watched an epic battle between the Ancient Nords and Alduin, and I learnt Dragon Rend. And now it was time for my epic fight against Alduin. Here he is, just squaring up to me, just threatening me. It was surprisingly quite a long fight, actually not really, because if you just look at this clip, just look how much damage I do to him. It wasn't really very good. Took me quite a while, but luckily I leveled up, so at some point I got really low on health and then just leveled up my health, so I got back to 100. And at some point, like, we finally beat him, and then, yeah, we killed Alduin. I mean, he escaped, but either way, we were victorious. When I was having a very important conversation with the Jarl of Whiterun, I heard two kids arguing, so I went to investigate.
Takes a while while to make a dress, Dagny. You have to be patient.
Now, if you don't mind,
I've
got a
complain
city.
about what you want. You're a spoiled baby.
I'm going to tell Father you said that. He'll tan your hide for sure.
The Jarl then told me that he'd only help me if General Tullius and Ulfric Stormcloak negotiated a truce. And as I was about to go to Windhelm, I got chased by this courier, and I was very intimidated again. So I had to resort to epically parkouring down these rocks, jumping off those, collecting some snowberries, running to a bridge, jumping off of it, doing an Olympic dive into the water. And then I shouted at this guard, because why not? And then Arengar told me that the thing was here. And after some fighting, let's say, we finally got them to negotiate a truce, just of some force. So it all went pretty well. And then we were ready to kill this dragon, not kill it, trap it. And then I called it. And then the career I was running away from came at the worst time possible.
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see. Ah, a letter from the Jarl. Moving up in the world, eh? Looks like that's it. Got to go. Help!
We then ended up trapping Hordar Ving. He wasn't very happy with us there. And then after some reasoning, he did agree to take us to Sovngarde. So we turns out he actually makes a damn good skate park. And then we flew off to a distant land. And my initial reaction with the necromancer dude was to just rush him and try to murder him. But then I saw I was doing no damage, so I just resorted to running away. Went into a heated battle, and then it was time. I meted up with Thickman 69. It was now time for the warrior test, and this was the most heated battle of the entire video.
By decree of Shore. Shore's favor has.
Yeah, I just pretty much ran up to him and just started stabbing him with 2 daggers. Come at me, bro. Anyways, we went to the Hall of Valor, met up with the dead people, and then gathered some new friends, and it was time to murder Alduin. So my new friends, my new best friends forever, we were ready for anything. We were ready to take on Alduin. We were ready to complete Skyrim using only daggers, but they kind of left me. It was now time for the final boss fight with me and the other 3 Nords versus Alduin, and it was a long fight seeing as I only had daggers. I struck with power and fury, and honestly it was quite hard until I finally got the finishing blow to Alduin. It was it, and we completed Skyrim using only daggers. And Thickman 69 sent me back to Skyrim as the hero of Tamriel.
Dancing in the shadows, waiting for a new light.
I hope you enjoyed this video, people. My next challenge in Skyrim, if this video gets comments of this challenge I'm giving out to you guys is to try and make up a challenge for me to do in my next Skyrim video. I already have a few ideas, so if for some reason no one comments, then I'm just gonna do my idea. Or no offense, but if I don't really agree with the one that you've put, I might just do it. But like, either way, you still get a shout out. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. So remember to comment down any possible ideas of Skyrim challenges that you have, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.